So this video is going to be describing how you write out your the beginnings of your first gamelan composition, where we're focusing on the core melody, which is the balungan. We're going to be looking at the very beginnings of heterophonic texture, and then we're going to be making sure that we're across what a keteg is in terms of the groups of 4 beats, and then what an 8-beat phrase or a full cycle is using a gongan. The way that we put those together is we use this basic composition grid. This is quite easy to be able to put together, and I'm going to show you how to do it. The task that you've got to do, you click on this composition grid, and it'll take you to the grid itself. What we're doing is we're going to be creating an 8-note core melody that uses the notes of the Slendro scale. So here was the Slendro scale here. We know that the Slendro scale in Western tuning is very, very closely aligned to the C major pentatonic. So that's the scale we're going to be using. The C major pentatonic is 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6, and we're going to be using those notes in our composition. So when we have to go through and create an 8-note core melody using that 5-note scale, we're going to choose any of those notes. We're going to choose 8 of them and put them into the composition grid. So let's do the melody first, our balungan. So if we click on here, this is where your balungan is going to go in the core melody. I'm going to start on C, and then I'm simply going to choose 8 notes from that scale in any order I like. So I might go D, then E, A, G, A, E, and C. Okay, so there's my first melody. So I've just basically taken the notes of the Slendro scale and put them in any order I like in my core melody. The next thing we need to be able to do is write an alto tenor part which only plays on notes 1, 3, 5, and 7. You can see here in the grid, here's your alto part. Here's note 1, 3, 5, and 7. The good thing about gamelan composition is that whatever gets played in the core melody gets doubled in the other parts. So whatever's happening here on note 1 will happen in your alto part, and it's a C. We go across here, we don't put anything on note 2 because we've got to put it on note 3. And we're going to put the same note as above, and it's an E. So that's a pretty simple process. Whatever's happening above goes in the square. So you can fill that out for alto and tenor. Remember, don't copy what I'm doing, make your own up. It's pretty simple. Down here to bass, remember, just as per the instructions, a bass part which only plays on notes 1 and 5. This is for the gong part, and this will help outline each of the 4-bar phrases, which is a keteg, and then 5 through 8 is the other keteg. The 2 4-beat phrases equal our very first gongan, our 8-beat cycle. So whatever's happening on note 1 goes in note 1. Whatever's happening on note 5 goes in note 5. That's a pretty simple composition of how to be able to fill that grid out. So go ahead, have a go, and then I'll have a look at it. And if we get time, we might be able to have a very quick play on the xylophones and see what your composition sounds like. Just as you're doing this, when you click on this link, it'll take you straight to the link. Make sure that you make a copy of that. Make your own copy. When you make a copy, it says here example part 3. What you've got to try and do, or what you've got to do, is erase copy of and put your name. Okay, so that you know what it is. So make a copy of the document, otherwise you won't be able to put anything in the document.